Dave here, and for my new series I have an emergency camp shelter. I got this from Dollarama for $2.50, and this is for my new series about discount camping, discount prepping, discount survival, stuff that almost anyone can afford. Is it worth it? Okay, so we got, like I say, emergency camp shelter, lightweight and compact, easy, quick setup, room for 2 people. Can also be used as a ground sheet, a reflective surface for distress signal, and protective cover for gear or food. Okay, so it's 8 feet long, or 2.4 meters, with approximately 20 feet of cord, or 6 meters, for those of us in Canada. This bag is not a toy. Warning, plastic can be dangerous. To avoid dangerous suffocation, keep this bag away from children and babies. Do not use in cribs, carriages, or playpens. Who amongst you made those warnings necessary? Okay, so perfect for ultralight backpacking and outdoor enthusiasts in remote areas. Okay, so in spirit of the whole discount kind of thing, I will not be using like my own paracord. I will not even really be using my knife. I will only use the product that I am testing, nothing else. And then, I don't know, maybe at the end of the summer I'll take all of the product together, make a tally, and then see if it works together. Who knows? So I'm on a pathway, walking path along London, Ontario. That's going to simulate our roadside. And yeah, let's find a place to set up and see what happens. Looks as good as any other area. Okay. So there's people walking on the trails, and there's kids playing. It's like the first actual nice day we've had in a while. Yesterday it was really cold. Hey there, little buddy. Jeez. So. There you go. Come on, buddy. People walking their dogs. Like I say, this is the first nice day we've had in a while. 2 days ago it was a blizzard. It was snowing like crazy, and we're like within the first week of April. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Sunday, April 8th is when I'm shooting this video. So, 8th of April, 2018. And, like I say, 2 days ago, it was just actually, no, come to think of it, it was yesterday. Yesterday, early in the morning, as well as, so all day Friday and part into Saturday. It just snowed like crazy. So yesterday and the day before. And then late morning, it kind of let up. And it was still cold. It still sucked. So people are out on the walking trails, walking their dogs. The kids are playing, which is nice to see. People are enjoying the outdoors. We always encourage that. That's awesome. But I digress. So back to this. So for the purposes of testing out any of these kinds of things, I'm not going to use any of my regular gear. Now, I always have my buck knife, my Selkirk, when I go into the bush. But for these videos, I'm going to leave it in its case. But every time I go into the woods, I always have my Selkirk. It's the knife and the fire steel, ferroceram rod. So it is indispensable to have. I am probably 200 or 300 feet off of a city street. There's a walking trail through the woods. I still always bring some basic stuff with me, and the Selkirk is always. But like I say, we're only gonna use the stuff that I'm testing out. I'm not gonna use anything else. So the Dollarama emergency pop-up shelter, reflective material, and a tangle. Looks like a jellyfish. Okay. Actually, before I do that, because I don't have a clue how tall this thing is. I tie it too tall, it's not going to be much use. All right. I'm going to go with about hip height. That is not looking so good to me right now. The cord is it's strong enough, I guess. It'll take some tension. I wouldn't give it much. I don't think it'll hold up for much. Okay, so a couple of videos I talk about situational awareness. One of the trees I chose is a one of the trees I chose is hawthorn. So that's probably something to be aware of what you're doing. Okay. You can tell I've never done this before. You know, I mean, tents and whatnot, yeah, but this kind of thing. All right. Why don't you guys come around over here and I'll get into this thing. All right, so wow. This is absolutely crazy. Oh. Okay. Tighten her up a little, maybe. Ow! Skew! Okay. Now, I went in, and then I tried to turn around so that I could face you guys and talk to you a little bit. I'm gonna go in from this side now. Let's. All right. So first of all, this reflective material, kind of whatever, it is so thin I could practically see. Well, not practically. I can see right through it. I can literally. I can see. Actually, let me take off my sunglasses, and yeah, it's just like wearing a pair of sunglasses. I don't know. I don't know if anybody can see in. I assume not, but I can see right through it. So, why don't you guys come around to this side and see if you can see me while I'm in there. All right, so I'm gonna crawl in. Okay, so this thing is literally a tube and a rope. Nothing to put it down. Nothing to hold it into place. It is so thin that if you puncture this thing at all, oh yeah, I've already got a run in the floor here just from crawling in. Okay, so I'm waving right here. Okay, can you guys see me? Can anybody see me, you know, in this thing? Okay, so it may keep the rain off you from up above, but literally, like, I got grass coming up through the floor here, and I don't know, maybe with a bit of duct tape or Gorilla Tape or masking tape or anything, really. I mean, for this thing, does it really matter? You could probably tape it up so that you know, the wind can't get through it. Oh, you could I know this looks like space blanket material. I don't really think it is. I don't think it's Mylar. So, and I mean how thin it is, I don't think it really is going to reflect much heat. So let's just, hopefully you guys can hear this. Hey Siri, what's the weather like?
It's currently partly cloudy and 0 degrees in London. Expect mostly clear skies starting tonight. Temperatures are heading down from 0 degrees this evening to -4 tonight.
Okay, so it's 0 degrees Celsius, which is like 30 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. So I'm going to crawl back inside, try to close the doorways off a little bit. I didn't bring tape or, you know, anything like that. I've never even opened one of these things before. So I'm going to try to close the doors up a bit, and at 0 degrees, I'm going to see like what kind of heat might start to build up in here. So, okay. Now, can we maybe tie it? Okay. Okay, I got it. Oh, I got it tied a little bit. Oh, but it's certainly not necessarily easy to do either. And you lose some of that 8-foot length they're talking about when you do that. So, all right, let's just hold this closed. I mean, I don't know, like just, I hope you guys can hear me out there. Just for how thin and see-through it is, it's like a pair of sunglasses. I'm not kidding you. And just for how thin it is, I can't see this reflecting much heat back. It does not look like the Mylar tinfoily, you know, kind of thing that, you know, you'd expect from reflective material. And I've actually never really used Mylar. I have some in my emergency pack, but I've never really experimented with it, so I don't even know if this is normal or not. But all in all, every video that I've seen where somebody's, you know, doing something with Mylar, they're saying, okay, well, it's already starting to feel warm. I can already feel the warmth. I can't. And I'm sitting on the ground, and the ground is cold. You know, like I was saying, it was just snowing yesterday morning and all day Friday, 2 days ago. So, you know, the ground is cold. If you lay down in this thing without some sort of, at least a yoga mat or, I don't know, something or other, you're not going to have a good night. It will keep the rain off of you. Oh, probably. As, you know, there's holes all through the ground part of it, the bottom. And, it's not really holding heat. Not really. It's all right. So I'm gonna lay down now. Ugh. Wow. Ugh. Okay. Oh. So, I just gave it just a little poke. Just a little poke. And then I just, you know, lightly tapped it. And where that hole was, the whole thing just blew apart. Boom, just like that. So, as long as you're lucky enough not to get even a pinhole in this thing, it might keep the rain off you for the night. I know it came, you know, from the dollar store. And I know a lot of people are gonna, well, you know, it's dollar store, what do you expect? Well, let me just... What I expect. I didn't have high hopes. I didn't expect that I was going to be able to live in this thing. But when warning, this material is not fireproof. Keep away from fire or flames and hot objects. I just noticed that. So you get it near fire, it's going to melt. Perfect for ultralight backpacking and outdoor enthusiasts in remote areas. Okay, it comes from the dollar store. What do you expect? What I expect is, if anything says emergency or survival or, you know, anything that anything that basically says when you're shit out of luck, you at least have something. I expect that to at least be able to be slept in for a night. One night. Okay, even at $2.50, I expect that you're going to be able to sleep in this thing for one night. I got just the smallest little pinhole in this thing. I just took my knife and gave it a little bit of a poke. And when I did, I just brushed it, and the whole thing come apart. Now, as I said, down on the ground here, dry grass was poking up through this thing. So if I rolled over, it probably would have come loose. The whole thing probably would have just come apart. And if I was sleeping when that happened, that would have made for a really bad night. So, you know, and I mean, and honestly, another thing that I expect from anything that claims to be an emergency camp shelter, you should be able to bring it near a fire, at least somewhat. So, now, I know Mylar isn't necessarily fireproof, but you can have that somewhat close to a fire. Now, I would love to test this thing out. I would love to be able to light a fire. And just see how close I can get it to the fire before it actually starts to melt. But, I mean, if there's that kind of warning on it, it tells me, yeah, probably not close enough for you to be warm throughout the night. I could be wrong. Unfortunately, I am, like I say, in London city limits. I can't just light a fire here. So I can't really test that out. And I quit smoking 4 months ago. A little over 4 months ago. December 3rd, 2017 was my last cigarette. I quit cold turkey. So I don't even carry a lighter anymore. At least not in a situation, you know, like this right now. If for some reason, you know, something happened, I could light a fire. I can always light a campfire. But I don't just carry around a lighter everywhere I go anymore, so I can't even do a lighter test. But if I you know, I'm obviously packing it out of the bush. If I get around to it, if I think about it, I'll maybe give it a try, and I'll put a link in the description, or not a link. I will put a comment in the description about, you know, how well it did up against a small flame. Heck, maybe I'll even just turn the oven on, open up the oven, and see if I can get it close without it starting to melt. Maybe I'll put it through a couple of tests, and eventually, you know, I'll do it up in the description. But I had a gear blowout problem. The zipper on this thing just totally gone. This is my camera bag. All my camera equipment goes in here, and yeah, it's no good now. Of course, it didn't happen until I got here, so gotta look for a new bag now. So that's Dollarama emergency camping shelter. What do I think about it? I think it sucks out loud. Spend a little more money for your just in case something happens bag. Trust me, you're gonna be happy you did. You don't want to spend a night in that thing. No good. So thanks for watching. Like and share. Feel free to comment. And I am. Can't leave garbage in the woods. Even if I am just slightly in the woods. Not good. I'm going to have more videos where I'm testing stuff like this out. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, so I said I was going to put a little thing in the description about my heat test of that material. I'm just going to shoot an end to the video to let you know exactly what I did, rather than type it all out. Okay, so when it touched flame, it does, obviously, you know, to be expected. But I turned the oven on. I turned it up as high as it would actually go, 550 degrees, and I put the emergency shelter like pretty much like right in. Like I didn't touch any of the metal, the sides, the racks, anything like that. But I put it right into that heat, like right at the oven, and it didn't start to melt. It didn't really start to crinkle or anything like that. So you could possibly use that that shelter relatively close to a campfire and actually keep warm. Has my opinion changed to the shelter? No, not really. I still don't like it because it's too flimsy. It's got no real tensile strength to it. One thing pokes through and it rips apart. That can make for a really bad night. So the search continues. Discount equipment that actually works. See you in the next one.